Speedway Anywhere on Blog Talk Radio / Speedway Anywhere with your crew chief Q.
Hey race fans, come on in. Speedway overtime, where checkered past is a good thing. I'm going to start out by explaining the NASCAR point system is like being a substitute teacher on sex ed day. It's awkward. People don't understand it. I don't even understand it. But and I might have brought this up in the past, not sure. But I'm not sure that the sanctioning body, even understands it. It's open to interpretation, judgment calls, and it's far from consistent. But hey, what do you do? If you're watching this between Labor Day and the week before the upcoming Kansas race, it's been another crazy one as far as the news goes. I got the speed ticker down in the corner of my computer screen, and it was pretty cool tonight because I was wondering if the guys that on the typical weekly Wednesday podcast were going to cover it, and they did their best. The details in the official announcement haven't came out yet, but we'll get to that in a second. First of all, happy belated Trickle Tuesday. That was Tuesday, September 6th. That marked the last time Dick Trickle won at NASCAR's highest level, September 6th, 1998, when he won at Darlington in the Busch Series, barely edging out Dale Jr. in the final laps. So, I got a story behind this. My brother was at a fantasy football draft that day. Huge Trickle fan, just like me. We were both raised on Dick Trickle and the Super American Knights. But I called his friend's house, and his friend answered the phone, and we didn't have cell phones back then. If you had a cell phone, you're paying $500, maybe $300 if you're lucky, for that big old brick. But anyways, so I couldn't call my brother on a cell or pager or whatever. But so his friend answers the phone, and I said, yeah, is Scott there? And he goes, yeah. I said, can I talk to him? He says, we're kind of busy. I said, he needs to know something. Trickle was leading in the waning laps, and it was going to be one of those final shots of Dick Trickle being in the top 5 and leading and getting another win at the Busch level series. So anyways, there was a couple guys there that got a little pissed off because I interrupted their precious fantasy football draft. And but everyone else was on board, and they flipped the TV to the race. I believe it was on TNN. And they saw Trickle win. I guess the room went nuts. I mean, I heard the story afterwards. So that was precious. Not only because Trickle won, but my brother's no longer with us. So, anyways, I'm not going to go too far into that because I'll end up being a crying, blubbery mess. On to the next story. But yeah, that was a day I'll never forget. Congrats to Eric Jones on his win at Darlington in the Cup Series. That was so cool because it's the first time a non-championship contender has won in the championship playoffs. Now, there's been other contenders that were out of contention, already eliminated, one of them being Dale Jr., that have won throughout the final 10 playoff races. I forget who the other one is. I'm pretty much winging this whole show. But yeah, Eric Jones came through at Darlington and put the 43 back in victory lane. This on top of the fact that the number 3 of Austin Dillon came through last week at Daytona. So the 43, kind of looks like the 2018 Daytona 500 when that's the way they finished, first and second. So how poetic. I love it. Now, I was just doing a little bit of browsing of last week's notes, and I had picked Austin Dillon, Austin Cindric, Chase Briscoe, and one other. I'm forgetting now. But they are now 15th, 14th, 13th as far as points right now, below the cutoff line. 16th, obviously, Harvick sucks. But series points leader at the end of the regular season, Chase Elliott, is now down to 9th. His car number, by the way. And he's 14 points to the good. Had he not taken the 15 bonus points for, the regular season champ, he'd be in trouble. He'd be actually tied with one of the Austins. I'm forgetting who. Like I said, I didn't script this show. So we'll see what Kansas has in store next weekend. I think Kevin Harvick will rebound at that one. Chase Elliott will rebound, but I still think Austin Dillon, Austin Cindric, Chase Briscoe, and we'll see who else ends up below the cutoff line before they go to Bristol to the final race of the first round. But I think those 3 are in trouble. So if you rebuild it, they will come. And I'm talking about North Wilkesboro. North Wilkesboro set to host the 2023 All-Star Race, Cup Series All-Star Race. It's the Stock Car Field of Dreams, as one of my broadcaster buddies put it. They're not going to be doing the big dig up for dirt racing in October, so they can focus on to continue to make the improvements. I can only imagine what those garages look like after 1996 being really the last time they were officially used. So, and besides that, they're going to get the TV contract. They're going to have to put in facility. Can you imagine the cabling and everything left over from 1996 versus what they use nowadays? They didn't have Wi-Fi, widespread, none of that. After the final cup race in September 1996. So the date has not been announced, but yeah, the October dirt races are canceled, which is kind of a bummer because I was hoping to get a chunk of the track. I was actually talking to guys that were supposed to be part of that project. I didn't get one for the Minnesota State Fairgrounds either, but that's a whole nother story. So the date hasn't been announced, but Fox will be carrying it. It'll probably be right around the same time as Texas had the All-Star race this year. Still nothing new on Kyle Busch and others for next year. So 3 or 4 drivers I've predicted to be out after the first round. Like I said, Briscoe, Dillon, and Cindric. And I'd have to look up my notes from the last show to find out who else I gave the dunce hat to. I'm going to leave it at that for this show. Subscribe if you want to follow the Speedway Anywhere show. I would love it. The more the show is followed, the more I will work on producing more material. So, I'm Quentin, you are you, and this has been Speedway Anywhere.
Speedway Anywhere on Blog Talk Radio, your source for stock car, any car, or any car, no matter how many wheels.